I don't know if is Jerry Kokoza coming on? I don't know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully too. Okay, we're starting to record now, so.
Colleen?
The meeting tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda, public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you, Colleen. Much appreciated. Thank you, everybody. First meeting in April, May, April. Oh my
April.
God. Everything's going so fast. April. Well, hope everybody's well. So I'd like to start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America
and
and
to
to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you very much. A moment of silence for all our brave men and women fighting all over the world for democracy and freedom, especially for our first responders and our police department and our fire departments here in Marlborough. I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda to add on new business, the Sandy Loom for Sands Avenue Park. I'd like to discuss that. I need
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda as stated.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed, none being said, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen. Motion to approve minutes from the March 22nd, 2021 Town Board meeting. Need a
I'll
motion,
make that.
gentlemen? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen. Authorize the payment and bills. Payment of bills is $91,142.55.
I'll make that
Make a
motion.
motion. I'll go ahead, Howard. Yep. I'll
I'll make
second it.
that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, gentlemen. Comments on the agenda. Are there any comments on the agenda? Okay, moving forward. We don't have any presentations tonight. So let's start with the reported departments and boards. I'll start with mine. Supervisory report for March 2021. I met with Highway Superintendent John Alonji and Rosemary Wine at the Milton Library to discuss handicap access. There's a handicap access there that we put in with Gail Appler. It's not up to code. It has to be removed. And she just wanted to know if the town wanted to do it or it was actually in their agreement with the architect and the contractor. So me and John suggest that they move forward and that the library would do that. And John and I agreed. She just wanted to make sure that if there was any chance that we could do it, we would do it and save the library a couple of bucks, but it turned out that that wouldn't be the case. I met with Councilman Baker, Police Chief Kokoza, and the town of Poughkeepsie Police Chief for a site review on the Marlborough Tilton property and an additional follow-up meeting. We had a meeting and then we went actually out on the site and to hear the noise, if there was any noise for local residents. And we were concerned, me and Howard, especially for our trail, but it was, and Tom was there also. I'm sorry, Tom. Tom Corcoran was there, and it seemed like it was okay. We didn't hear any. When we were beginning at the site, they were firing. We didn't hear anything, and that was at Mr. Graziosi's place. And so it seemed like everything worked out, and the noise level was pretty low. Didn't hardly hear it. And so they're working up an agreement with the lawyers, the Poughkeepsie people are, and then we'll just see how the board feels about that agreement. I think it's not a problem. Zoom with Free Library, discuss working together on pertinent community issues. I had a Zoom with Ulster County Project Resilient Representative Anna Merkowitz. Continued regular meetings with the Ulster County to discuss the COVID issue and updates. Met with Chief Kokoza and Marlborough Central School District Rep. Larry Kokoza to discuss cleaning protocols. The floor hasn't been cleaned for a while, and Larry has agreed to go in there and clean it and wax it. And so that was a good meeting. Met with the vendors to discuss the installation of utility poles at Clear Chance Park. I continue to do that, trying to get 3 quotes. Also, I have a little concern about one of the vendors brought up if it's going to be high enough, if there were going to be any dark spots in the field, and so I'm looking into that too. I think it will be all right, but I just want to make sure. Help distribute food for the seniors with the Lions Club members and volunteers at the Presbyterian Church. I want to thank everybody for doing that. Conference call with engineering representatives, Council Baker and Rosemary Wine to discuss the South Pier issues. We just had an update with that. Hopefully that'll continue. Hi, Chief, how are you? And hopefully that'll be, actually the decking is, they were thinking about splicing it or welding it together because to transport it. And they were able to get a couple guys, so they're not going to do either one, and which I'm really happy about. I didn't like the splice idea. Maybe the welding idea was okay if you would do that, but then it would be, in my opinion, the point of the structure, which would be weak. So I'm glad that they're going to bring the whole thing down in one piece without cutting it in half. Multiple meetings and phone calls with camp directors about summer camp. I called 2 or 3 times, talked to Bill and Kim. They still agree they don't feel comfortable during the COVID-19 to do the camp. I said that there's a lot of people who want the camp, and there would be no, they would understand if we moved forward, and that's one of the discussion points of looking for a camp director. And they had no, they know that the town was in a hard spot because they determined not to be the camp director this year because of COVID-19. And they would understand fully if the town went and proceeded to look for a camp director. Attended Ulster County Ag and Market webinar. That was a good webinar. Talked about what you can do and what you can't do, and Ag and Market. Several Zoom meetings with concerned citizens in regard to the summer camp. Got a lot of calls from a lot of ladies concerned mods in Marlborough and Milton about camp. Several meetings with John DeMarco and Councilman Baker, School Superintendent Michael Brooks, and representatives of a development interested for the Bayside project. So that's ongoing. They're doing their numbers. They're seeing if they could do it. They're looking for an IDA. They're very reputable construction, nice. Howard actually went out and saw some of their development. I attended a comment at the Dan Scammer Article 10 public statement hearing. Of course, my statement was that because of our high taxes, school taxes, that it was for the Dan Scammer new plant, which is a 600,000 megawatt plant. I think me and Gil were the only ones for it. So met with representatives from Ulster County Soil and Water to assess soil for Milton Landing Park that was up at Scott Trampini's farm. I met Councilman Cork, and I met with and Howard Baker in the IT committee on IT. Thank you, Scott, for doing that. It's a great meeting. Discussion with Councilman Corcoran and Police Chief in preparation for contract renewal. Met with Tom Schroeder and helped clean up the crew at Chance Park. There's some garbage that flew away during that high winds. And that met with Highway Superintendent John Alonji at Khan's project to assess soil. Lenny Khan called me up. He said they had 2 big piles of dirt there that they need. I met with John this morning and we evaluated the dirt and I talked to Lenny and told him that we weren't interested in that dirt. And that's my report. So moving on, we have the building inspector, Tom.
Building Department, month of March ending 2021. Certificate of occupancy 5, request for information 25, building extensions 5, fire inspections 12, fire calls 1, ZBA applications 3, order to remedy 6, complaints 25, burn permits issued 11. Addition renovation permits 2, barn permits 1, burning 11, carports, garages 2, conversions 1, decks 5, electrical 4. Pools and hot tub 4, roofs 4, sheds 3, single-family homes 4, solar panels 2, tank installer removals 2, wood stove, pellet stoves 1. Total permits 46 for an estimated cost of building $1,368,312. Monthly revenue, certificate of occupancy 750, permit extensions 947, building permits 11,151.20 cents. Request for information is 2,500. Fire inspections 735, burn fees $10, ZBA applications 900, ZBA escrow 2,100. Total monthly revenue 19,093.20 cents. Total miles 1310. Total gas usage 92 gallons. And that is it.
Thank you, Tom. And Tom, you want to do an update on the county for the county COVID-19?
Sure. Ulster County right now, as of today, confirmed cases are 13,932. That's an increase of 477 from last week. Total active cases, 1,615, which is actually for the second week in a row, a decrease. The decrease this week was 148 cases decreased. Last week we had 115 was the decrease. Marlborough right now has 937 confirmed cases. That's up 32 from last week. 121 active. 809 recovered, and 7 deaths, which has been holding steady pretty much for a long time now. Ulster County, as of today, has tested 336,000 people, 162, with 323,956 negatives. Starting last Thursday, age 16 and over for vaccinations were available, and we're looking for this coming week or within the next 10 days for that age to go down to 12 and over. All right, so look forward in the next week or so for ages 12 and over. That 16 will decrease to age 12 to start getting some of the younger kids vaccinated.
Is that with Pfizer, Tom?
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson has not been approved for that yet, but Pfizer has been. So that's where we are right now. As far as COVID cases in the county.
Yeah, and I would assume that the hospitalization rates are down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have those rates, but yeah, the hospitalization rates are down.
Okay, that's all good news.
Yep.
Forget, most of us are vaccinated, and
Right.
that's good. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Chief?
How is everybody tonight? Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Monthly report for the month of March 2021. Personal injury auto accidents 2, fatal accident 0, property damage accidents 17, for a total of 19 for the month. Vehicle and traffic summonses issued 83, parking violations 1. Complaint activity, total blotter entries 1,612 with a total of 13 arrests. Telephone calls handled 1,856 calls. Full-time and part-time overtime is attached. Part-time dispatchers for the month, 8 hours overtime. Police mileage, 11,800 miles with a fuel consumption of 1,223.547 gallons. Use of force reports, we had 2 for this month. They were officers versus deer. No other use of force and no civilian complaints. We are making progress on our police reform suggestions. We will add that as a reporting item on our report starting next month. We'll have a complete list of the recommendations and where we stand on each one of those recommendations. And that'll be reported to the board every month. That was an idea that Howard had. We just couldn't get it together for this month's report. So it'll be on next month's report. And that's it, sirs.
Any questions for the chief?
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jerry.
chief.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Jerry.
Yep.
Jerry.
And thank you for helping with that, the flower, I guess, I don't know what to call it, by the flagpole. It came out beautiful.
The planter. I call it the planter.
Yeah, it looks
Plant.
good.
Thank you very much, Howard. And actually, they're working on the post too, the hitching post. So we went there and we anticipated that Top Seed would just repair it, but once they started with the repair, it just it started falling apart. And so we made an executive decision to move forward with the pavers from the Milton that we have up at the Coed Chance Park. So it turned out really nice. Thanks, Chief, for that.
No
And
problem.
thanks, John Alonji, for getting those pavers. Okay, talking about John Alonji, Alan, would you like to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Highway
pull it up.
Superintendent?
Yep. All right, so monthly report for March 2021, Easter egg hunt. Due to COVID-19, the annual Easter egg hunt was canceled. We were happy to participate with the town along with the police and fire departments in a drive-through at the town park. We distributed treats to approximately 600 children. Roads. We continued to do road patrols and install a cold patch where needed throughout the town. We repaired lawns that were damaged by the plows. Shop work. In preparation of summer storage, we washed out all the truck bodies and sanders and pumped out liquid tanks. Brush/weeds. Throughout the month, we trimmed trimmed trees on Gabarty Road, Mulberry Lane in preparation for our summer paving projects. We also trimmed trees on Bailey's Gap Road. On 316, we cleaned up a tree that fell so Central Hudson could restore power on Sherman Drive. Training. The entire department participated in required sexual harassment training. Shared services. On 3-9, we assisted the water department with a water main break on 9W in Milton. COVID-19. Half of our crew received the vaccines through their fire departments, but New York State included public works employees on the eligibility list. The remaining crew are now in the process of also being vaccinated. Landfill, we repaired the entrance gate at the landfill. Fuel usage, gas, 260.140 gallons, diesel, 652.52 gallons. Respectfully submitted, John Alonji.
Thank you very much, Alan. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And I like to do a shout out to the county. They asked at that particular time if I had anybody that was in the municipal government that didn't get the vaccine, and we emailed them all the addresses, and they were able to get that. So thanks to the county for doing that. Water Superintendent, you want to take that, Ed?
Yeah, hopefully I can read it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready, Ed.
Supervisors and town board members, town clerk. Monthly report for March. Water consumption total 16,849 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 543,516 gallons. Compared to last month, 15,531 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 554,600 gallons. Compared to a year ago, water consumption was 13,648 million gallons for the month, which is a daily usage of 440,200 gallons. Summary for the month. Hydrants. We had to repair a hydrant on Old Indian Trail. Water mains. We had to repair an 8-inch water main on 9W in Milton with the help of the highway department. We had to repair the roads, where we had water main breaks with coal patch. Service lines. We had to do an emergency tap on 9W in Marlborough. Meters. We had to replace one frozen meter on South Street. Storage tanks. We had to repair 5 pinholes at the Western Avenue tank, and we also recalibrated our altitude valves. We also took water samples and checked the levels of the tanks. Town Park. We met with the New York City DEP up at our Latin Town pump house for inspection and calibration and calibrating our meter. We had to maintain and rebuild our RPZ valves. These valves are reduced pressure throughout throughout the town. Service line inspections, closing 6, markouts 35, gallons of gas 210, gallons of diesel 25, mileage for the month 1,900.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Colleen? Town clerk.
Town clerk monthly report for March 2021. Burn permits 1 for $25. Conservation 6 for $8.84. Dog licenses 32 for a total of $180. Water services 1 for $150. Road cut fees 1 for $350. Transfer station permits 10 for $555. Punch cards 25 for $1,110. Marriage licenses 1 for $17.50. Building department fees 1 for $4,821.70. Buyer fees 1 for $665. Accident reports 5 for $25. Burglar alarm permit 1 for $20. Certified copies 8 for $420. FOIA requests 1 for $6.35. Junkyard licenses 1 for $250. Peddler permit 1 for $250 for a grand total of $8,854.39.
Thank you, Colleen. Much
Welcome.
appreciated. Great work. Through the water quality management, this is for the month of March 2021. Both the Marlborough and Milton wastewater treatment plants complied with the Speedy's requirement. The following are monthly statistics for both plants. The Marlborough plant average daily flow is 153,000 gallons per day, about 87% design capacity. Average BOD removal is 95%. Average suspended solids removal is 98%. Milton wastewater treatment plant, average daily flow is 29,000 gallons per day, about 53% design capacity. Average BOD removal is about 98%. Average suspended solids removal is 88%. Both the Marlborough and Milton plants operate normal during the month of March without any major changes or events. The high flow rate at the Marlborough facility is mostly likely to the heavy rain and snow melt infiltrating into the collection system. We have not started any repairs on the greenhouse roof yet, but should be able to begin now that the weather has gotten nicer. Lamella Sanitation has replaced the commercial dumpster at the Marlborough facility with a 10-yard roll-off container. It is the same price per pickup and is more convenient to fill. Overall, both wastewater treatment plants are in good working order, but are getting older. If you need any additional information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Stay safe and be healthy, and that's Julian Falco, Water Quality Management. As you know, the town of Marlborough estimated is from the American Rescue Plan was 0.96. It's around $960,000. It isn't clear yet exactly how do you get that money, but it is clear that you could use it on infrastructure. And as you know, we've been talking to Dennis Larios about our Marlborough plant and how old it is. And so those are one of those things that we could use that money for. And also we have dechlorination system that's going down in Milton, and we probably could use it for that also. You can't use all the money in 1 year. You got to use it and spread it out 2 years. And also, we haven't gotten feedback from the treasurer as far as what we could, the amount of money during the COVID, like we took a hit on our court fines because of COVID. So possibly some of that money we could recover also. So until I get more further explanation how to get this money, I'll keep you in touch. But basically right now, there hasn't been any direction as far as what you could use the money besides uh, uh, the upgrade of your sewer plants and broadband. So I'll continue to keep you in the loop on that. So it's good news. Also, I think we heard from, was an article in the record about how much money the school was getting. I think that was substantial too. So it's all good stuff. So the town of Marlborough Dog Patrol, I'll do that if you don't mind. Monthly report for 3/1 through 3/31 of 2021. Received a total of 9 calls this month, including 2 calls to service from the New York State Police and Ulster County Sheriff. Responded to 2 active complaints and/or cases which are now closed or resolved. We currently have 0 open cases or complaint. We impounded 0 stray dogs this month. No appearance tickets were issued this month. There were no dog bites reported this month. This is all good stuff. I would like to remind residents that most of the hibernating bears have already woken up, except for a handful of females who will be coming out of hibernation by mid-April. Some with new pups. We have known bird feeders and garage cans are a source of food to these hungry bears, so please use caution as we enter and leave our houses, that we are aware of our surroundings. Most bear-inflicted injuries are because of humans accidentally walking too close to a bear or bear cubs. That's nice to know. Witnessing one bear at our bird feeder, standing up, trying to get it 6 feet tall. I think you want to keep away from them for sure. Thank you very much, Andrew. Anybody want to do the assessor's report?
Let me get it.
Pretty short. I could do it. We prepared 4 property tax estimates. We processed 24 real property transfers. We are continuing to work on collections on new construction and verifying sales data, and that's from Cindy Hilbert. And Howard?
Planning Board review, March 20, 2021. Meeting March 1st, 7:30 PM. Everybody was in attendance. First item was approval of stenographic minutes for 2/1/21. Approval for the above minutes was granted unanimously. Next item was HSC Milton LLC Dollar General Route 9W Milton Public Hearing, Site Plan and Lot Line. Public hearing was reopened and closed with no input. The applicant's representatives provided detail relative to changes made to the proposal, including the addition of an easement added to the adjoining parcel. The representatives also provided updates on DOT approvals and on site lighting. The applicant will reappear at the March 15th, 2021 meeting to receive a seeker negative declaration via resolution. Next item was Nason subdivision on James Street in Marlborough, sketch lot line. The applicant received final approval to via resolution. Recreation fee findings for the project of $6,000 was also approved. Next item was Mondello and Peretta on 162 Old Indian Road in Milton, final lot line. The applicant is seeking a lot line revision to correct previous construction of a fence and pool on the adjoining lot. The applicant was requested to clarify the structures located on each lot as well as bulk table proposals. Outstanding issues with existing structure on each lot and setback requirements may require ZBA approvals for the variances. The board agreed to send the applicant to the town of Marlborough ZBA for review. Next item was WMG Property Holdings on 565 Latin Town Road of Marlborough, sketch subdivision. Applicant's representative detailed plans for a 2-lot subdivision with plans for a new single-family home to be constructed on the new lot. The board applauded the applicant's thorough completion of the application. Ulster County Department of Public Works and Ulster County Board of Health approval are required. Applicant was asked to clarify the limit of disturbance, which appears to cross proposed property lines. A public hearing was scheduled for the April 5th, 2021 meeting. Next item was review of the site plan checklist. The board continued to work on revising the site plan checklist for applicants. The idea of implementing a flat fee for discussions with the engineer and attorney was discussed. The board also discussed whether or not inviting the town code enforcement officer to initial discussions would help expedite the approval process. Next deadline, February or March 5th, 2021. Next scheduled meeting, March 15th, 2021. Then we go to the meeting on March 15th. Everybody was there. Agenda, they approved the stenographic minutes unanimously. First item was Lamella Real Estate, 1118 Route 9W Marlborough, public hearing, subdivision. A public hearing was open and closed with input received from an applicant from an adjoining landowner. The applicant received unanimous approval via resolution. HSC Milton LLC, Dollar General, Route 9W Milton, public hearing, site plan, lot line, New York State DOT approval remains outstanding, as does Ulster County Health Department approval for the subsurface sanitary sewer disposal system. The board raised concerns regarding signage for the site, which the applicant will address. Applicant was granted seeker negative declaration and notice of determination of non-significance resolution. Next item was Cremi Veroli, 282 Orchard Street in Marlborough, sketch and subdivision. The applicant detailed a proposed two-lot subdivision of a lot which is naturally subdivided by Orchard Street, a town road. The building inspector noted a trailer located in the front yard of one of the parcels, which will need to be removed prior to approval. The applicant will provide updated materials to rectify technical issues pointed out in the initial application. Discussion with that lawyer, engineer, and stenographer, review of the site plan checklist. The board continued to work on revising the site plan checklist for applicants. Discussion regarding conceptual checklists and or site plan checklist continued. Possible revisions by the town board regarding home occupation was discussed. An error in the current town code and its implications to the planning board's ability to grant waivers to applicants was also discussed. Jeff Battistoni was authorized to draft a letter to the town board to address this issue. Next deadline is Friday, March 19th. Next scheduled meeting, April 5th, 2021. Respectfully submitted, Chris Brand, Chairman, Town of Marlborough Planning Board.
Thank you, Howard. Just for the board's information, the General Dollar Store, I think they're really waiting for a DOT to determine if they need a turning lane there. But being proactive, I sent a letter to the DOT to see if we could get the speed limit from 55 to bring it down to 45. I was denied that, so, and just wanted the board to know that I was proactive in doing that, so.
The DOT's telling them that they need a turning lane?
They haven't made a decision yet, but that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for DOT basically to make a decision if they have to have a turning lane or not. So they're waiting upon the DOT for that decision. Okay. I'd like to move forward with the report of the committees. The first thing is the Recreation Committee. I'd like to thank Scott Corcoran, Councilman Corcoran, Tina Rosa, Penny Cashman, and Colleen, and all the Corcorans that were there helping passing out candy, and the fire departments, and the highway department, and the police department. It was a joint effort. I think everybody appreciated that. So I thank everybody for doing that. And once again, Marlborough comes together as a community, and even though we couldn't have the Easter egg hunt, usually myself and Scott, we have it up at the Dome. We weren't able to do that because of COVID-19, but we put a couple of smiles on people's faces. That was a great thing. And,
a lot of people, a lot of people.
A lot of people. And just thank Penny for being the
Don't say it.
let's put it this way.
A good sport.
It was a hot
Helping
day,
out.
and she
Yes.
came through. God bless her. Anyhow. So, and Ed, do you have anything about bocce on recreation?
Yeah, Tuesday, it's been posted on the website. We're gonna have our bocce meeting outside at the bocce courts, discuss rules and regulations. We're gonna go through. We got through all the last bocce season with no problems.
Okay.
I think with all the vaccinations that are happening and everything that's going on, I think we may get our whole 20 teams back this year.
Oh,
So
good.
that's a good sign. But I'm gonna try to push it back 2 weeks from that day because I want to give it a little more time and get the rules written out and get the schedule together because know how many teams I have. But hopefully we'll get the whole 20. That'll be 4 games a night for 5 nights a week.
I know they look forward to it. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
they do. Yep.
Anybody have any other recreation stuff? Okay, moving on. Emergency Management Preparedness Committee, nothing going on there, Al?
Nothing going on. I guess we're gonna vote on the town plan tonight, so.
No report. I know there's no report done to CAC. IT, we met via Zoom. We had a great discussion with the chief, Howard, and Scott put it together. Moving forward on some items. And yeah, it was a great meeting. So I think everything is backlogged, as Danny says. So there's nothing really you can do. A lot of stuff is backlogged. Like to add anything to that, Chief or Scott? I mean,
No, just like you said, a lot of stuff's backlogged. We need to get some PC units. We got to get some monitors. We got to get some Wi-Fi stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff that they're just backward because of the chip manufacturing and people just ordering a lot of stuff with COVID. So
Tell me about chip manufacturing. My gosh. Can't get any cars.
can't get cars.
Really?
Cars, right? Cars are.
Yeah, they're having problems with the chip manufacturers, and they're coming out with a thing now because every car has a chip and there are keys. They're going to start giving you only one key with a brand new car so they can make more key fobs.
Wow.
And then you'll get the other one later on.
yeah.
Crazy.
So get to work, Scott. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, come on in. Come on. Give us the contract.
Yeah.
I know there's no, on the Milton Train Station Foundation, there's no report, but on the Milton, we've had some dialogue with Peter Hoffman on the cameras for the trains. And we're gonna meet, I think, Howard, the 16th or 17th, something like that, with a gentleman. So that's pretty excited. They're pretty excited about that. I guess that's a big thing, you know, you televise and so they watch the videos of the trains going by. A lot of people are into that. When I go down in Allen, and when you go down there, there's a lot of people who are looking for the CXX change their trains. They're into that.
Yeah.
So good for them. Milton Landing Citizens Committee. You have anything, Alan?
No, I think I sent you guys that message that we got those arborvitaes available to us.
Oh, yeah.
About a month ago. It was a while
Yeah, yeah.
ago. So we got to get looking to be planting them. I think we want to do that between the dog park and the property there. It used to be Ford's old property. I don't know who owns it now.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much about it. I mean, other than what's been going on with the dock. You guys had that one conference call. You sent an email out saying that but there wasn't a time for the call or anything. So I don't know what that was about.
Which one was
Last
that?
week? Was it last week?
Yeah.
It was it was like an update on progress or something, but I got the email at like, I don't know, maybe 11, but it didn't have a time or a call in. So
No, that
You
was.
saw
from
the
Brand-
update, Alan,
from
about
Brandy.
the construction from Brandy?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
very short call, and we have a new schedule, which from Arbin Group, which I need to look at a little bit more closely and then get back to the state on that. But
Yeah.
Alan, it was a very short call. You didn't really miss much.
Okay.
Sorry, Brandy set it up.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw it late. Like I saw the email not late, like an hour later, but didn't have a time, so I figured I just missed it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
going back to those arborvitaes, we're gonna have to figure out some kind of planting because Vivian's been watering them. But they're gonna need to get in the ground pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't know how we can arrange that.
Yeah, the other thing is, Rosemary was successful in getting the $5,000 for the fence, and now you're up to about 15 or something $1,000 to do the fence. The balusters are a big problem. I've been emailing, been trying a different connection. I met a gentleman down there at work, and he gave me a name of a guy that's a foreman, and I contacted him, and he said they've been doing a lot of spring stuff, but give him a call at the end of the month. Hopefully he could help. So I've been trying. It's not like, it's been 6 years. I have all the emails from Gail Apple Jr., yourself, about these balusters. It's pretty disappointing, but then again, it is CSX, and it's ironic. They give you $5,000 for a fence, and then you have problems removing the baluster to put the fence in. But we'll
Well-
get there. This guy sounds very promising. He seems down to earth type of guy. So anybody else who wants to try and get them to do anything down there, please go at it, because I've been trying.
The arborvitae.
How do we have to make them? Okay.
Excuse me?
The arborvitae, do you need help with something, Alan, there, or?
Well, I think there's quite a few of them, so we're actually gonna need like either a planting party or figure out someone to get them in the ground. You
How
know what I
big
mean?
are they? Are they,
I think from what, I haven't seen them firsthand, but I think Vivian said they're like 3 or 4 footers, something like that. But they're gonna grow quick, but it would be a good buffer between the residential property and the dog park.
so on the south side of the,
Yeah, it'd be the south side of the dog park, yeah.
but this is something you need to dig by hand, or?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Well,
It'd be nice if we can get a post hole digger, like on a Bobcat or something. That would make it quick.
yeah, how big a
It's
post?
pretty rocky back there. I don't
It
know.
depends on where you are, Al, because where they filled it in, there's a lot of,
All
when,
rocky.
when we were down there doing the project for the Eagle Scout, it was like drilling for oil instead of you were hitting rock. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, I remember.
you would drill, and then all of a sudden hit a rock, drill,
Yeah.
hit a rock, depending on where you were in there.
I remember that with Steve from Top Seed.
Yeah.
Okay, see what we could do. Economic Development Committee, there's no report. There's a lot of buzz in the town. I think Bricks is doing something. They're changing everything up, at sidewalks, they're putting new sidewalks in and stuff like that. A lot of buzz going on. And hopefully, when John has time, he's gonna pick up a striper. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but he contacted Ulster County, and they have for putting down the white stripes in Marlborough. So we've been working on that to spruce it up a little, because all the marks are pretty much worn out from back when the county did it with the paving. So just trying to make the town look presentable. Meet me in Marlborough. I haven't heard from Sheila. Have you, Howard?
Not really, no. Our main concern is that sign on 9W right now.
The Hamilton Milton Association Committee?
Yeah, they're gonna do the spring cleanup, April 25th. Let me, hold on, I gotta look at this again. It's April 25th at 9 AM. They're doing the spring cleanup.
Okay,
They don't know about the planning yet, so
They're not having a spring fling though, right? Or I mean,
I don't think they're gonna have a formal like they would normally do in the barn. I don't know that for sure. I can talk to Viv, but a little bit more about that, but I know the cleanup is that date, and she doesn't even know about when they're gonna do the, the hanging plants and stuff.
and the transfer station, Howard?
nothing.
The only thing going up there is they've been up there doing their surveying for Nexamp for the
Right,
solar, and John mentioned in
repaired the gate.
his report, they fixed the pole there for the fence, which Larry came in and talked to me about. So I think Larry is happy about that.
Yep.
And the police reform committee, is that an ongoing committee, Howard, or we?
No, I don't consider it. I consider that we did our job, and the only thing, like we discussed prior, that we want to make sure we follow up on the recommendations and tick off that list and get it completed. But I don't plan on convening the committee again. Do you, Jerry, Chief?
No, I think we've done what 203 wanted us to do. And like you said, staying on top of those recommendations and trying to knock off as many of those as we can get done in a reasonable amount of time. Just stay on top of that. And I think we'll be in a great position.
So would you like to make a motion to, for the reports of the committees to eliminate police reform committee? Okay,
Yes, I will make that motion.
And I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Aye.
None being said. Thank you, gentlemen. Old business, I had no report on the Tomback rehabilitation update. Haven't received any contracts. Water district improvement, no report. Short-term rentals, we have the resolution. I thought maybe we could discuss what the plan, the town board would like to see to some consensus about application fee, escrow fee, and permit fee. Talking with Howard and Scott, we're all over the board here, but so first of all, let me just read what we have so far, and then we could discuss it, if that's okay with the board.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Councilman Corcoran, as we all agreed, the first certification would be waived. And then the second one would be that's not counting the escrow and the application fee for the planning board. This is just for the certification would be waived the first year. The first year during the application process, Councilman Corcoran suggests the planning board, 350 application, 650 escrow, that's $1,000. And with this all, it always comes with fire and safety inspection, which is $100. So don't even count on that because that's a given. You have to do that regardless of what we talk about as far as the fees. Second year, every year after, Councilman Corcoran has 350 ratification fee plus 75 per bedroom, $100 fire inspection fee. That's, like I said, that goes along with it all the time. Councilman Baker, application fee has a little less. He has 300 plus 50 for each bedroom over one, and an escrow fee of 300 plus 50 for each bedroom over one. Year after that, he has $100 recertification fee plus 25 for each bedroom over one. Supervisor Lanzetta, I have 250 application, 750 escrow. So I'm in agreement with Scott on the amount, but I don't agree with the application. He has 350, I have 250. He has 650 for escrow, and I have 750. The reason I went with 750 for escrow, if they follow the new law that we adopt tonight, and then it'll be a month before it goes through everything, but if they follow the minor site plan, they'd possibly be, it's an incentive to get most of their escrow. That was my conclusion on that. And the second year, I put $200 ratification plus $50 per bedroom. And of course, then the fire inspection fee goes along with that. So that's what we have so far. So let's do the application fee for the planning board process. So where would you like to go?
Well, we gotta hear from Ed and Alan because you heard from us, right? So,
Well, the application fee is $1,000. It's where you put the money, correct? Right now, everybody's with 1,000. Is that correct?
That's correct. The only,
Not Howard.
me and
Howard's not.
No.
Howard
Okay.
not in favor. He thinks it's too high.
Okay.
The only discrepancy I have with Councilman Corcoran is he has 650 for the escrow. I have 750 for the escrow. So we're pretty close. Like I stated, my thought was that because of the 750, they might maybe be more proactive and do the right thing and wouldn't appear more than twice in front of the planning board and get most of that money back. Not most of it, but most. It all depends how much time they spent, right? So with the engineer and the lawyer. And Councilman Baker is, he doesn't think, he thinks that 250, he thinks, let's see where Councilman Baker says 300 plus 50 for each bedroom and escrow fee of 300 plus 50 for each bedroom. So he's around, depending on what the bedroom count is. I mean, we have somebody in front of the planning board now, I think it's 3 or 4 bedrooms, I'm not sure, but that's quite a, he's going through the bed and breakfast, code. He's in front of the planning board right now.
We had originally started at 500, didn't we? Wasn't that the original?
Well, the original planning board application, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, anybody, is $550 for the application and $750 for the escrow.
Yeah. And I think I said originally I was comfortable with those numbers, and I still am. So
We're all over the place.
Yeah, my thinking on the initial application fee, the escrow, I thought the escrow fee could be lower because I'm thinking, like you mentioned, Al, it should be fairly straightforward. They're not subdividing anything. They're not changing anything in terms of their property. So I wouldn't think the engineers and the lawyers would have a lot to review. If anything, I would think the planning board could pretty much make that determination without a lot of consultation. Therefore, make that escrow fee lower, which I believe is in place to pay the engineer and the lawyer and the stenographer if they're called in for their consultation. That was my thinking. And the other thing is, in general, I don't want to have the fee so high that people ignore them and just go and do whatever they want to do anyway because they don't want to pay the fees that are too high or that they may perceive as too high. I don't really know what a fair fee is. I'm not a fee expert. Maybe these are in tune with other towns. I just know that sometimes people think we charge too much on everything. So,
well, I know, Howard, but usually anybody who buys anything sometimes feel they pay too much. You know what I mean? So you set a fee, people are going to say it's too high. You know what I mean? No one's ever going to tell you like, oh, that's too low. I should be paying more. You know what I mean?
yeah. I understand that, but again, if we're streamlining the process, we have a streamlined site plan review on this. Why do we need an engineer and a lawyer to look over that? It should be fairly straightforward, but I may be naive and not knowing.
But then they would get it back, Howard. So
We're getting that money
it's
back.
it's not like they would actually pay it. I mean, they might have to put it up front at first, but they would get it back, right?
Yeah.
So it's there just to protect them.
Let's hope so, but
Well,
engineers and lawyers find ways to look into things too, so.
I mean, the reason I came up with my original thinking was the same as Alan and Eddie. They were at the 550. I think Howard and Al were down at the 200 mark originally this is for the planning board fee. So I said, well, let's compromise because we were all over the place, right? We couldn't come to it. So that's why I came up with the 350 fee. I said, look, let's take a number in between what everybody's, given. And I thought 350 was a fair number. And then you go with the 650 for the escrow and you're at $1,000. That's the first year. I mean, obviously, again, they got to do the $100 for the building department. That's the given. You can't get away from that.
No, and I sent an email and said I could live with that.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to take anybody's money, but I'm just looking at what the market delivers as far as what the cost is for rentals and what the return is. I don't think we're hurting anybody. And I think, there's a big opportunity for people to make a lot of money, and God bless them for doing so. But I don't think that we need to not make any money. You know what I mean?
Remember, this is just for the planning board. Then you go to the next phase. It's the yearly certification thing.
Yeah,
That's a different scenario.
Tom?
just be aware, I mean, if you're gonna start dropping the fees for a home occupation, then you better start dropping fees on everything. You know, because a home
We do,
occupation,
right?
now all of us, if I'm gonna do a home occupation, which we've done for years, somebody does a hairdresser out of their home, it's $550 and $750 on the escrow. So now you're gonna drop those down because they're gonna say, well, I'm just doing a home occupation, a hairdressing place, and they're doing a bed and breakfast or a short-term rental, and you're charging them 300. So you have to revamp everything if you're
I
not
think-
gonna make this comparable.
Yeah, and
I
going,
think this applies to home occupation, short-term rentals. This fee does apply to them, Tom.
Well, that isn't what it says, but if it is, I think you're missing out on an opportunity. I think 350 is too little, and there's no way 300 and 350 is going to cover an escrow. You can ask Jen that, but there's no way it's going to cover it.
yeah.
That's one meeting.
And
Engineer, Jen can talk. Engineer, stenographer, and architect and lawyer. 100%. 350 won't even cover the first meeting, even if you streamline it.
yeah, and I
Jen
know,
could speak,
That's the
Jen could speak to
application.
that.
and just let
We
me interrupt.
we lowered the fee on the lot line change. Also,
To what?
I think it's it might, I think
I
it
haven't
was
seen a new application. There's a new application for a lot line revision.
lot line revision. What's the application fees for that? Jeff?
$550.
It's still.
I don't think it's $550.
$550. Jen, you haven't changed anything, right? You're on mute.
There you go. I think the lot line is 600.
Yeah, I think it changed, Tom.
Well, then it went up. It didn't go down.
Yeah.
She's saying 600.
It went up
It went up.
Went up?
because escrow goes way too quick. And
Okay.
as much as the lawyer charges, as much as the engineer charges, if you guys are lowballing it, I'm calling these people every week. I'm getting late billing. That
Yeah.
it's not fair.
Yeah.
And then where does that end up, Jen? Jen, when you don't
I'm
get
looking-
the money,
I'm
where does that end up?
What,
When you don't get the money, where do those fees end up on whose desk?
yours.
Yeah, thank you. That I gotta
What do you
chase.
mean? What do you mean you don't get?
Well,
the
it doesn't end up
Can you
really
see
on your
that?
desk. The plans are not signed by the chairman if all the fees are not. That's one of the criterias of him signing.
There's
right?
late billing. When they come in 3 months later.
Jen, I've been dealing
it's
with you
hard.
on this all for the last couple of years. I know about
That's-
late billing and we've been getting our money, but I understand. So that's one concern.
That-
Escrow
Well,
should be
yeah, because I've been
1,000.
Working with Tommy.
Tommy, I understand where you're coming from, but why should it be $1,000 for an engineer and a lawyer to spend? First of all, I don't even know why they should spend any time on it.
Well,
Because it's pretty
that's an answer for you guys because I'm just telling you what it cost.
Well,
It costs
Yeah.
one meeting, lot line change, one meeting escrow is $300, $400, $500.
Well, maybe we
Why?
should
I
be
don't know.
talking to those
And
guys and
right
saying,
now,
why
it's
are you,
$600.
why is your review costing this much? How much? If you come before me with a proposal to do a bed and breakfast, and I'm not subdividing, I'm not putting shovel in the dirt, why do you need an engineer to look at it really? And why do you need a lawyer to look at it?
Why is there 38 and now up to 58 on the checklist? Answer that question.
I don't know, Tom. It just
I think-
seems like if you put it $650 out there, they're going to find out. I'm not disparaging our engineer or lawyer, but they're going to find a way to figure out how to spend that money. So,
So
Before they sit down with the first planning board meeting, the engineer has already reviewed that with his points and with his bullet points. And that's, I'm going to say minimally $200 to $300. The plan review prior to them even sitting at the first meeting with the stenographer lawyer. That's the engineer's first thing. And again, I can tell you doing plan review for houses takes me hours and hours. So it's got to take Pat or the engineering firm at least 3 hours, maybe 4 hours to review a site plan, no matter how minimal it is, because you've got to go over every intricate point, got to go over sections of the code. So if it's taken 3 to 4 hours, that's $300 to $400. It hasn't even gotten to the meeting yet.
So,
That's why the escrow fee is $750, because before you sit at the first meeting, you've already incurred $300 plus before the lawyer, before the engineer's costs at the meeting and the stenographer.
Yeah,
So
and I
let's,
think, guys, I think we also need to, to kind of look at this as like, each one of these applications, although we have the streamline and we simplified it, each one of these applications is going to be dynamic from the next. So we're not a cookie cutter town. So the one that comes in, the first one that comes in is going to be much different than the second one. The third one's going to be completely different than both of them. It's dynamic. So you can't say it should only be $300. The 1,000, look, if it's 1,000, it comes out at 300, great for the applicant. I have no problem with that. You give them back the $700 and the applicant goes on their way. But you can't say like, oh, this should go that quick. Each one of them is going to be so different. I mean, we've seen this with so many projects within our town. Like,
We're
this,
talking about short-term rentals. We're not talking about a subdivision. We're not talking.
I'm not
about
talking, no,
site
I'm saying the same thing, but
Okay,
each one of those is
so-
going to be a little bit different.
I
You know what I mean?
totally agree with
I-
that. Look,
so we-
I can come to agreement on this, but I just know that if people are turned off by our fees, they'll just go ahead and do it anyway. And I think there's some home occupations that are going on in town, which we may not know about. We don't collect fees because maybe they perceive our fees as too high. But look,
so would
and
you
Howard,
say
I'm
that
gonna
the
go back to what I
compromise,
said.
Alan, between myself and Councilman Corcoran, that we could start with that with $1,000, $750, and in escrow due to Tom's comment, and so 750, and
I
then
won't go, I'm not agreeing to no 250 for an application fee, I can tell you that.
no, you said 350 for the application and 650 for the escrow.
Yeah, for the first year. That was a compromise.
Right, and so I'm agreeing with you. That
Okay,
comes,
all right.
that
And the
comes
three-
to $1,000.
And the 350 goes to what on the second year?
350 goes to the application for the planning board application, and the
first
750
year.
goes to the escrow.
And if you
Oh,
want,
fixed
if you
it.
guys want the 550, the certification fee yearly, you could go back to your $500 if you want for the yearly thing. If you want to compromise to that.
Yeah, that's what I want. What's the research? What's the research fee?
It's whatever we decide to make it here, right?
It's proposed to be 350, right?
Right. It was gonna be 350 plus my proposal was 350 plus $75 per room.
I can live
That's
with
the
it.
second year, but let's,
Second.
let's get the first.
I can do-
try to get-
I would
try to get the
be
first year
I'd be more
out,
willing-
where we
I'd be
agree
willing-
about the application fee and the escrow fee for the planning board.
Yeah, we gotta
I'd be-
get that settled.
I'd
Yeah.
be more willing to go with and I'm not saying I'm going to agree with it, but I'd be more willing to agree with the 350 first year and then 550 for the years after. Gives the applicant a chance to get their feet wet, learn the business, and move on from there. And then go to the 1,000, and I still want the $1,000 escrow.
No,
$75 per
$750
bedroom.
$750 escrow. We're talking just for the planning board application.
Jen,
Yeah,
what a typical
$1,000
meeting's
escrow.
about 350, Jen? A typical meeting's around 350? For
What do you mean?
escrow,
For application,
for an
doing
application?
the lawyer.
The
Or is it
engineer
more than
lawyer
that?
fees.
No, it's more than that.
So basically, the application has always been $750 for the escrow. We're not changing that. We're not changing the 750.
But what I'm saying is
With the
that
application fee
750,
went
is she
from-
chasing people to get money? Is that why she's chasing people because it's too low? I'm just trying to get an understanding.
People come in and the last thing, they get the conditional or whatever, and then there's the lawyer and the engineer are always a month or two behind, right, Jen? Something like that? They're always
Like 3
behind,
and 4
and they're
months
sending
behind.
their voucher for their fees.
Yeah,
And then we catch up. When we first started, me and Jen and Tom, there was a huge amount of money that people owed for years. And, we made certain conceptual type things and got some money from them. A lot of it was like 10, 11 years old. So we got a lot of money from that, from the old days. I think lately, we're not doing bad at all as far as people paying their money.
no, Tommy's working with me very well. I couldn't get this money back if it wasn't for him.
Okay,
I just think what's missing out of what you guys are talking about, and I understand what you're saying, Howard, as far as time and effort at the planning board, but you're missing the plan review. There's a lot of money in plan review prior to even sitting at the first meeting. That's where I think you guys are saying, well, we're streamlining it. It shouldn't be that much. And that's okay. I get that. But you've got to take that. I'm going to throw a number out there, and I could $300 before they sit down for plan review, because I understand what plan review is because I do it every day. So you're missing that $300 before you sit down plan review. Now we get to the streamline. If you could take a streamline and bring that down to $300 or $400, then you're at that $750. I could live with that. And Jen's chasing a little bit, even at $750, to be honest with you, but that's a doable number at least. But I'm saying is, don't disregard the plan review monies prior to even sitting down with the planning board day one. Because when they sit down day one, they get a sheet, and that sheet of paper is hours of plan review by the engineer. That's what I think you guys are just kind of missing a little bit, is the plan review.
so my suggestion with the compromise with Councilman Corcoran was that the $750 escrow I was comfortable with, and then the application fee. But so we come to $1,000 regardless of the application fee and the escrow. So my suggestion was keep the escrow at $750 and then do the application fee at $250.
A question.
Because I don't want to chase people. So
250. Well, again, I don't have a dog in this game. 250 is too cheap.
That's too less. That's too low.
okay,
So,
so
can I
I could
just go
live with
back?
the $350 application fee and the let's see,
Make it 750 and 350.
$650 for the escrow. I could live with that.
So can I ask a question, Tom? Tom, you review these as well, right? So this goes across your desk.
Well, yes and no. There's a misconception, I think, by the planning board on what I'm supposed to be doing here. In theory, when this sits in front of my desk and Jen brings it over, I'm supposed to just say it's allowed in the zone or it's not allowed in the zone.
Mhm.
That was originally the deal. And the deal was made by my department. My department stepped forward and said, you know what? There's too much going through the planning board that is going in the wrong districts. And I won't bring up the example that really sprung this, but there was an example that was put right in our face. And when George was there, it was just totally put in the wrong zone. So our
Right, okay.
acceptance of this was, can it go into zone and can it not? And that's basically all I should do, is can it go there or can it not? Then the rest of it should go to Pat and the 7 members of the planning board to review. But I'm getting feedback that the planning board's saying that I'm missing something or I did something wrong. Well, I don't have a responsibility. My responsibility is to say, does it belong in the zone or not as the zoning officer? And that's it. I do go a little bit more above and beyond bringing out sections of the code, but that's not my job. My job is to say, does it belong in the zone or not? Can I put this restaurant in this zone? Can I put this apartment store in this zone? My thing should just be yes or no. I pick out things like, look for this in the front yard, like the last comment you had made, look out for the trailer in the front yard, look out for the shed that's too close to the line, watch out for these trailers that don't belong in the town of Marlborough. But again, that's not my job. My job is just to say yes or no. So when the planning board says I missed something, I take offense to that, to be quite honest with you, because that's not my job.
So that was my question. So you're not doing review of, you don't see yourself doing a review of the short-term rentals other than saying, oh yeah, that's allowed in that zone. They're in that zone. Okay, I'm going to pass it to the planning board, and that's it. And then
That's correct. And then after the planning board's done, then it'll come back to me for a heavier review for the application, meaning the posting of the egress on the doors, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide. I'll do a review at that point.
Mhm.
But the pre-review going to the planning board is just, is it allowed in the zone or not? But what I'm saying is an adamant review that Pat Hines is doing of that is ours. Again, I mean, I'm not taking away, I don't care how much somebody charges or doesn't charge. That's beyond me. That's, you guys decide who you hire. But I'm telling you, that engineering firm spends hours on plan review prior to sitting down.
So
Yes, and I
where
understand
are
that.
we with this now? So
So throw some numbers out.
me and Scott come up with $1,000
Well, it's a little more, it's
Regardless of which way you
1,100.
do it,
350 and 750 is 1,100, right?
No, you got 350 and,
Yeah, but you want to stay 750 with the escrow, you're saying, so that would be 1,100.
yeah, I'm not counting the fire inspection.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
So you got 350 and 650.
That's what I said, yeah.
That's a total of $1,000.
But I know, but you're saying 750 for escrow.
And
You
yeah, I
want-
come up with $1,000 too, so I could live with either way. It's up to the rest of the board. I could live with your 350 and your 650.
Okay, so let's say 350, 650 the first year. What is the second year, the recertification?
Let's get through the first year first, Howard.
Well, that's
Please.
what's on the table, 350 and 650.
Well, what does Alan and Eddie think? I mean, and Howard. I mean,
I'll live with that. I give in.
I think it's too low. I think
So-
it's,
And we
I
got
think it's too
going.
low. So
So somebody needs to make a motion, I guess, and then we'll vote on it. I don't know how else to do it.
You want to make that motion, Scott? You want me to?
I'm just a little concerned because of Jen's comments about now she's saying 750 might not even be enough for escrow.
I think it's too low.
the
My
matter-
personal
Yeah,
opinion, I think it's too low.
Just don't see.
We've been having 750 for escrow for the longest time. We haven't changed any fees, escrow fees.
Okay, let's make it 350 and 750. Put
That's
that
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
table.
I would think I would go, because for what I got here tonight from the planning board secretary and the building inspector, what they're saying, I would make a motion that escrow stay at 750 and we compromise to the 350 on the first year for the application for them. And then we'll go to the next year. That, I would say 350 for application fee and 750 for escrow.
And
That
do
would
we
be my
waive-
motion.
do we
I'm not-
waive it? And where does the
I'm not
$100? That's not in there, right? For the first year,
Excuse
that $100 for the fire inspection, that's.
No,
No, that always goes with it regardless of what the application.
that has nothing to do with the planning
but-
board. That's
Yeah,
something separate.
or the certification. That's a given. They have to do.
Exactly. Okay, gotcha,
we're-
gotcha.
guys,
So
guys, if,
350 and 750 is on the table for the first year.
yeah, but if that's just for the first year, part of one of my questions before was, what about the second year? Now, we don't even want to talk about the second year tonight, which is going to basically make me not
No,
support.
we can't. We'll talk
No,
about that right
we
now.
should talk about the second year right now. So what's the
Yeah,
proposal for that?
we're just going through now with the application fee for the planning board, Al and Ed.
I know what you're
So-
doing. I know exactly what you're doing.
Okay,
So the
and then we'll
reserve-
discuss what the certification fee is
Okay, let's
after
discuss.
after the first year of the waiver.
Think I brought up, and if I were to agree with the 350, that I wanted to be the 550 on the annual research.
Okay, so Scott has a motion, 750 for the escrow, 350 for the application for the planning board process. That's a motion. You want to second that, Howard?
I just
I'll
want,
But
I
I'm
just
not
want to
gonna
say,
vote. I don't
he
want to
doesn't
vote on
wanna
this
vote
until
on it
we
until
know
we
what's
get
going
the
to be the
second
second
part.
year.
Okay. I know what Alan's saying. He wants to get it all quick because he might not support this. Because the second
Yeah.
part might not be good.
That's 100% accurate, Scott. Thank you.
So I'm just saying.
Okay,
so
I agree with you.
let's
So
talk
let's
about it.
put in the second year. What is the proposal? 550?
That's what I propose.
550 plus what?
No,
that's
it's
just-
550, no bedroom, just
And the
550
70,
straight.
no, and 75. I said this before, 550, 75 per bedroom, and you're still going to have the fire fee.
Okay, 75 over the first bedroom, Alan? I mean,
Yeah, 75 for additional bedrooms,
Over the first bedroom, yeah.
over the first, yes.
I'm thinking that's way too hard for me.
yeah.
I think if you look at the market, Al, it's not high at all. Like I said, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to take money from people, but seeing what the market's demanding, this is not, they're not renting these for $25 to $50 a
No,
night.
I mean,
It's not
I could have my opinion. I just.
No,
think-
I have my opinion too. That's fine. I'm just telling you, I looked at the market. Well, that's my opinion of what I've looked at the market.
That's where my fear of the 550, Alan, for recertification, that somebody say, I'm not paying that. I'm going to still do what I'm going to do, but I'm not paying the town 550. I don't know.
Well, then
I
when
know
they get
can make
caught
a lot
doing
of
it
money.
illegally, it's on them.
Excuse me?
All right.
So
Right, and
Ed,
when they get caught doing it
what is
illegally, it's
your
on them.
take on the recertification after the first year of the waiver?
What
Ed,
was it?
Yes. I agree with just what Alan's saying. I believe the market is very strong in it with this rentals. And if they have 2 or 3 bedrooms, they're going to make way more than that in one weekend. I mean,
so Ed, you go along with Alan for the recertification of 550 and 75 per bedroom
after the 1 bedroom.
after the 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
And Scott?
Oh, boy, this is like a toughie here.
Could we compromise at 500?
What if we do $550 a bedroom? Would you guys be okay with that?
$550 over 1 bedroom.
Yep,
That'd be
well, just
cool.
to
I
compromise.
think it's too high, but to,
Well, I mean, we don't want to beat this dead horse. If
We
you
gotta,
guys want,
we gotta move along on this, Al. And so if
yeah, I would agree to that.
if it's too high, if it's too low, we can always modify it.
what do you, Ed and Alan
All
think of
right,
that?
so what if we put this caveat in there then? If I were to agree to the 500 and the 50 per additional bedroom, what if we put like a revisit term on this?
You could always revisit it during reorg.
Yeah. That's
All
what all
the
the
fees,
features.
True,
all the
that's true.
applications, you could
It's kind of
change
built, it's kind
everything.
of built in anyway, right?
That's
No,
true, yeah,
if the
I guess that's
750
there.
doesn't work out and Jen says, this isn't working out, we're chasing money with Tom, we could change that. Whoever, whatever in 2022, you could change it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always reviewable every year. So I mean, if we think that people are like what Howard's saying, or just saying we're not going to do it and kind of doing it on the side, and then we're chasing them, then maybe we got to revisit it. But
You okay with that, Alan? $550 over 1 bedroom.
I could compromise on that, yeah.
So go ahead,
Ed?
Scott, make that motion.
I'm good with that.
50 for
Okay, you're gonna make that,
all right, so the whole
first-
motion would be the planning board fee of $350 with the escrow of $750. The yearly recertification fee of $500 plus $50 per additional bedroom over 1.
right. And
That would be my motion.
I'll
the
second that. I'll
first,
second
the
it.
first year, I just want to make this clear, that the first year after the application fee for the, from the planning board, the
No
first year is waived.
Right. You'll get your certification if you get through the planning board that first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I second that
Councilman
motion.
Corcoran made that. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any,
All right,
nays?
good
So
discussion.
moved.
Good God.
Okay. Thank you,
Yankees are on.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Uh-oh, Tom's got his hand up.
Yes, Tom.
Am I collecting that yearly fee in my department?
Yes.
Yeah, the,
All right, so
That's separate. That has nothing to
certification,
do
yeah.
with this. Yeah.
All right, so the $500 certification fee will be added to the fee schedule for the building department for
Yeah.
short-term rentals.
yeah,
Okay, and then 500, and then they get charged the $100 fire inspection fee above and beyond. that.
Correct.
yes,
Correct.
Separate fee on a separate line.
yes.
Correct.
That's all I
Yes.
need to know. Thank
And
you.
$50 for the extra bedrooms too, Tom.
I got you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Woo.
What's next?
So the public employee emergency plan is a resolution, so we'll discuss that during the resolution time. New business to award contract for painting the interior of the police department. Been working with the chief. The chief got 4 bids. The lowest bidder is Kathy Butcher, Butcher, $4,200. I need a motion to approve that for the chief to have her paint the police department. That's the whole interior of the police department, plus spackling and whatever she needs to do for preparation.
I'll motion.
I need a
I'll
second.
I'll second the motion, and that's coming out of the building fund, right?
Absolutely.
Right, okay, yep,
That's what we just
yep, yep,
added money to.
yep.
Okay.
I got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? None opposed. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sirs.
B, summer camp. Been getting a lot of calls from a lot of people in Mars that want this summer camp to happen. Like I said, I had 3 conversations going back and forth because of different things changing with CDC, with Kim Pomeroy, and she still feels uncomfortable. She knows that we have to do something possibly. What I'm asking the board is I'd like to advertise for a camp director. Can't do anything without a camp director. You need somebody who knows what they're doing. Either it's a half day, it's a full day. We know there's no excursions, there's no trips to the pool, there's no trips to the roller skating ring. Talked to several supervisors. Joe Croce, he's doing a wait and see type thing. Highland's gonna try it. A couple of people up in Marlborough town, talked to a supervisor up there. They're cutting hours. Basically, you can't do anything when I'm talking to these supervisors without a camp director. I think my opinion is we should give it a try, see if we could get somebody, and go
You have
forward with that.
You have the list of credentials they need to have for a camp
Yes.
director and certification from the county that they gotta
Yes,
have?
yes. Tina could put that all together. We've been
Okay.
working on that.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea, Al. I would support
I mean, we
that.
could advertise, it's just not that easy, but we could try.
We could try, at least we could try and see what
we
happens.
get, maybe next year, but
Yeah, I mean, so I'm asking that from the board and I think I got approval. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yes.
Made the
Yeah.
first
Thank you so
motion.
much.
I need a motion.
I will make
I'm
that
up.
motion.
Go ahead, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
You in favor of that, Alan?
I was out of the room for like 30 seconds on that.
Okay, so the board, I talked about the board about advertising for a camp director for this camp season.
Okay.
There's a lot of people have been asking, they really want it. It's, a lot of
It's
people are
important.
stressed out, the kids, they want the kids to socialize and get out there and some kind of normalcy, so.
The other
I
question though,
agree with it.
Al, the only thing I forgot to ask, I should have asked is, let's just say we're lucky enough and we get someone that can do this as a camp director. What about all the people that worked for the camp? Are they comfortable doing it? Are we gonna have people to actually?
See, that's why you need a camp director.
That would be the
Right.
director's responsibility,
That's
probably, right?
her responsibility should be taken over what exactly Kim does. She'd be
Hiring.
making the call.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know what I mean, to
No, yeah,
make an
obviously.
effort to do it.
Yeah, I do too. So, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. 284 highway agreement, we saw that from John Alongi.
New truck.
Everybody saw John's proposal for his 284? The sum of $469,450 should be set aside to be expended for the permanent improvements of town highways. So he has a whole list of Lions Lane, Garrity Road, Lloyd Town Line, Millbury Lane, Milton Turnpike, 1.0 post. He's got a whole list here. I sent it to you guys. I think.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Okay.
I got it.
I need I need a motion for the supervisor, and the councilman are also has to sign the 284.
All motion.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Al, you want us to stop by to sign that sometime or?
Yeah, I'll have it on my desk, or Tina will have it.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Ed. So the highway garage floor, thanks to Scott and a couple of people have been looking at that. It needs to be some repair. We did get 2 quotes. We've been trying to get the third one. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the third one. People are so busy. with construction these days. So we did get two, and I could tell you that Scotoro was the lowest bidder at $2,600. The next one was closed, 2,900. So, Mr. Scotoro, I would like to motion to award him to do that concrete work at the garage at the highway
I'll
department.
make the motion. I just want to clarify on the motion that this is labor costs only. It's not the material costs, so, but I'll make the motion that we approve that.
Okay,
I'll
Second.
second.
Alan, all in favor?
Aye.
Just any idea what the materials would cost, just so for the record?
It's about 2,600. I think it's almost about the same as the labor cost that we get it for our cost.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yep. And again, this comes out of the building fund.
Yeah, the building fund.
Yep.
I have some correspondence. Right along here. So the first correspondence I have is attention Chief Gerard T. Kokoza Jr., supervising dispatch Jennifer Van Amberg. Dear Chief Kokoza and Supervisor Van Amberg, I'm providing this letter to serve as official notice of my immediate resignation as dispatcher for the Marlborough Police Department. Please accept my sincerest and humblest apology for the reasoning of my departure, as unforeseen and deeply personal circumstances are such that I must leave in order to attend to them properly. I'm extremely appreciative for the opportunity to work with such an amazing group of men and women who represent the very best in law enforcement during one of the most challenging times this country has ever seen. Through COVID-19, anti-police sentiment and climate, political and civil threat of unrest, and everyone keeps going. Business as usual, because that's what law enforcement does. It was truly been a pleasure working with law enforcement on this end of the spectrum as a dispatcher. Although there were some challenges and stumbling blocks that have presented itself, my love and respect for each and every member of the Marlborough Police Department is overwhelming and hopefully heartfelt. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank you and all your staff for your patience and understanding. And once again, for the chance to serve as a working member in the greatest profession on earth. Sincerely, Robin Oliver Martinez. So Robin's gone.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and the search goes on, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
We got
sir.
the shifts covered now, Chief, or how is that?
Yep, we're coming over part-time.
All right.
Yeah, they're welcome the extra hours.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I have a request to use the train station for the Milton Lions Club May meeting, and they asked to waive it. I checked with Danielle and Colleen's on all these requests, and it's May 5th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And also requesting that the town board waive all fees and deposits. So I need a motion to waive that for the Milton train station for the Lions Club May meeting.
I'll motion.
Thank you, Alan. Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And you saw this, it was passed down by Colleen, the clerk's office, about the library is interested in installing a story walk at Chance Park. A story walk is a children's book that has been deconstructed and presented on poster board signs, page by page on paths on a trail. It's something fun for families and with young children to safely leave the house and do together, especially as COVID is still a risk. So that's from the library. I think that's a great idea. Alan, you already suggested that it's a great idea. So
Yes.
motion to allow the library to use the park for their story time.
I'll motion.
I'll
Need a
second.
All
I'll
in
second.
favor?
Aye.
All right.
Still with us, Ed? Okay.
Yeah, he seconded it.
I didn't fall asleep yet.
You look too comfortable, Ed.
Relax.
Thank you. As things start to open, I got a notice from the town of Marlborough Court Justice Court, that they'll be opening April 12th at 4 p.m. Vehicle and Traffic, Tuesday is 13th, and Wednesday the 14th. So they're opening up. So that's
They're
good
open
news.
tonight.
Just want to let everybody know that. And we have a request to use the train station and the Park Pavilion. And once again, this is for the Sarah Hall Hollick Free Library. They like to use the train station on Thursday, May the 13th, Tuesday, May the 25th, Monday, June the 7th. They like to use the pavilion June the 15th at 2 o'clock. And Thursday, June the 24th, the train station at 7 o'clock. So everything at the train station is at 7 o'clock. So I need a motion to allow them to do that.
Motion.
Thank you, Alan. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. And that's what I have for correspondence. Any public comment? Any public comment?
Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a public comment.
Yes, James, please do
Just that
so.
I'd like to thank the board for dealing with this issue of the fees. As a planning board member, I actually appreciated the fact that I haven't had to come down to the town hall, and I can do this from my home. That saves me some time going there and coming back. It's not much. Certainly, when I act as a consultant in my work, not having to drive to a location which may be an hour or more away certainly is something that is beneficial in reducing costs. I certainly understand that we're not going to have these kinds of meetings forever. So I think the board should be aware that the consultants will probably have some travel time involved once we start into the next year, maybe even before that these kinds of meetings may not be allowed anymore. I'm not sure, but I just wanted the board to be aware of that. And I'm glad to see that you will be continually reconsidering the fees as time goes on, because fees will change. So thank you very much for dealing with this difficult issue.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Any public comment? Any other public comment? Yeah, I think, like James says, as things start to open up, probably would start by at the town hall. So we don't know when that is, but some town supervisors have been going back, but my feeling is, as long as we could do this, I think that we serve the public, and it wasn't like we had a lot of people there, but we wish we did. And people could get on the Zoom also, so it's from the and voice their opinion. So I think we're definitely during this time of COVID, I think it's a safe thing to do.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that, Al, like this COVID thing's been hard on everybody, and it's kind of been terrible in a lot of different aspects. But the meetings doing this way is actually kind of, I think, is kind of something good that's come out of it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move right along to resolutions. And I guess the first resolution is the adoption of the Public Employee Health Emergency Plan. I thank Tina Rosa for working on this, along with all the labor unions that we contacted that put into the resolution or the plan, the emergency plan. So Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following, where Senate Bill S8617B requires public employees to adopt a plan for operation in the event of a declared public health emergency involving a communicable disease, and whereas the town board, along with the town of Marlborough Police Union Association, Town of Marlborough United Federation of Police, and the Town of Marlborough United Public Service Employees Union has developed an emergency health plan. Benevolent. police below. Yeah, I always get that screwed up. Marlborough United Public Service Employees Union has developed an emergency health plan. Be it further resolved that the town of board of the town of Marlborough hereby adopts town of Marlborough Public Employee Health Emergency Plan. We first got this and then we sent it to the PBA and they looked it over and they made some changes. Then we sent it to the highway department union and the dispatcher union. They had no problem with it after that. So, and we moved for its adoption.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes, thank you, Colleen. Resolution 41. This is a resolution that we talked about to increase the highway department from superintendent's position from 2 to 4 years. And this is a mandatory action. So it would be on the ballot in November. And this would, if people voted for it, this would change the town of Marlborough Highway Superintendent from 2 to 4 years. And it's type 2 action requiring no secret review. And that's the gist of it, so.
It comes due, the 4-year term starts on January of 2022.
Yeah.
This year, this election, right?
Yeah, it'll be on the election, it will be on the ballot and people could vote for it if they voted to say yay. They wanted, the term to be 4 years and then it will be the following year, it'll be 4 years starting.
Right.
Okay,
President Lanzetta,
yes,
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
thank you very much, Colin. Thank you, Joan.
Hey, Al,
Yes,
may I ask a question? Going back to the short-term rental, when would that go into effect? Or we're about a month away?
yeah, it has to go through the process, Colleen and Danielle.
It
So
takes a
one-
while for
Yeah.
it to get back from
Yeah.
Secretary of State. So usually after I send it in tomorrow, it usually takes, well, it took a long time last time, but it usually takes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks before I get it back. from
Yeah,
Cuomo's
about a
office.
month, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah, so once we adopt it tonight and then we move forward and then Colleen and Danielle do all their preliminary stuff as far as the secret and all that stuff. So the next thing is resolution 42, and this is the filing for the adoption of the short-term rental code. And basically it has no negative declaration. And it's something that we had to do, so the lawyers brought up, we did the secret review on the short-term rental code, and basically it says, it proposes the adoption of local number 2 of 20, local law number 2 of the 2021 local law town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, amending various provisions of the chapter 155 of the town code in the manner described above. And that's a local law of the town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, amending various provisions of chapter 155 zoning of the Marlborough Town Code as follows, amending section 155 terms defined to add new definition for short-term rentals and short-term rental unit. Add a new section 155-32.3 governing short-term rentals, amending section 155-31 site plan review to add a provision for minor site plan review. That's the one they should look at, the minor site plan review. And amending section 155-31 to provide the short-term rentals, bed and breakfast, and home occupation are subject to minor site plan review. And that's the secret review. I need Colleen, the foregoing resolution was voted upon.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes,
Councilman Malinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig,
yes,
And resolution 43 is to adopt the local law 2, and it's the short-term rental law, which I just read from the secret review, indicating what changes in the zoning will apply to this new change and adoption of this new law, and moves for its adoption.
I need a offered by and seconded by for the resolution.
Yes, who would like to offer it?
I'll
I'll
offer.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
okay.
And who is the second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And moves for its adoption. Thank you, Colleen.
Page now. Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes,
Councilman Molinelli,
Yes,
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
yes.
Thanks.
first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for their patience. We've been doing this like for 3 months, going back and forth. Input from Councilman Corcoran and Councilman Baker and everybody. We started off pretty weak, but I think we got a great law here and that we're adopting this evening. And so it's new territory for us, but I think it helps everybody along the process. So this way, we do know eventually who is actually doing the short-term rentals, and unfortunately, then we have to spend a lot of time with our code enforcer chasing these people. So this gives them an opportunity to be, by the code and do the right thing and come in and get their application at the planning board stage, and then the first, like we discussed, the first year is a waiver, and this is all from the unfamiliar territory for us, but I think it's good territory that stores as a good piece of legislation, and thank you for all your patience and everybody and all your input, and also you, Tom, for all your input and your patience. Resolution 44 to approve 2021 budget amendment. Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following: be resolved that the town board of Town of Marlborough approves the attached 2021 budget amendment. Actually, it's just a wash. It's where there's the increase in expense was $40,902, and then the increase in revenue was $40,902. So it's just an accountant thing that our budget director has to do, and we've seen these before, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Molinelli,
yes,
Councilman Koenig,
Yes,
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Colleen. Resolution 45 to transfer funds. Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following: whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds, and be resolved that the town board of Town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds. The transfer of $50,000 from general fund balance A.0917-000 to police vehicle reserve fund A.0878.003 for the future purchase of a police vehicle. And this is for the chief's vehicle for next year. And moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Molinelli,
yes,
Councilman Koenig,
yes,
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Colleen. The resolution 46, transfer of fund, that Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following: whereas the town board needs to approve transfer of funds, and be resolved that the town board of the Town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds. To transfer $35,286 from general fund A.0917.000 to building reserve fund A.0878.002 for future building improvement. So that's from our general fund to the building fund, and that's $35,286, and moves for its adoption. Gentlemen,
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Molinelli,
yes,
Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Colleen. Resolution 47 to transfer fund. Supervisors Lanzetta proposes the following, whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds and be resolved that the town board of town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds. To transfer 54,000 from general fund balance A.0917.000 to Park Reserve Fund A.0875.001 for future park improvement and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes, and may I add, I added it to the agenda, but I forgot to talk about it, and that's Sandy Loom for the Sands Avenue Park. So I've been trying to get look at some different various places. It hasn't really worked out that well. And talking to John and talking to the gentleman that does our trucking. Today, we talked about Sandy Loom and him trucking it. We came to an agreement from $20 a yard to $18 a yard. 2,000 yards would be $36,000. I was just wanting to know what your opinion on that is. My feeling is let's get it done and get grass on that and move forward with that park. That's my,
Yeah, I would concur, Al. I think the people of Sands Avenue deserve to look over and see some green grass, and the people in town of Marlborough, deserve to walk on it. So I don't have a problem with it.
so would you make a motion that we spend that money from the park fund for
Yeah.
that?
So I make the
So
motion that we,
2,000 yards, so that $18 a yard, and we saving some bucks from $20, but.
yeah, so
besides the hot
$36.
dog and-
Do we gotta mix anything with that, Al? Did he say that? to grow
Nah,
the
he said
grass?
you could just grow grass right on it.
I know the last one they were saying we
Yeah.
might have to mix stuff. So
No, he
this
said
should be good.
that, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, the stuff
how
down
many
at the
yards was
landing.
that?
2,000.
yards.
2,000.
How many?
2,000 yards.
2,000? Okay.
Al, this includes trucking and the actual soil, right?
Yep,
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'll second that motion, Al, that you were about to make.
Can I make it first? All right, I make a motion that we expend $36,000 from the park fund for the Sandy Loom at the Sands Avenue Park.
Second.
Howard again?
Howard, you gonna second
I'll
it?
second it again, a second time.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, and we'll work with John to do all the MS4 stuff to make sure that we put the silk screen around and according to whatever, we need to do to be in compliance with stormwater and Tom.
Howard, what's the cost of the trees for Sands Avenue? I know you gave us that engineering plan, but was it broken down? I didn't notice it was broken down just for Sands Avenue.
It is broken down. I don't
Was
know.
it?
I'd have to look. Yeah, it is.
Because I mean, if we're gonna do stuff, I mean, I know we're spending some money here, but we have it in our park fund. But it makes sense to put the trees in as we're doing this, when we have machinery and stuff there, I mean,
We're gonna need a bulldozer, and I think the backhoe, we could always use the town's backhoe equipment.
no, I get that, but then you'd have to rip the grass up again to get to the trees in again.
I
Like put the trees in and plant the grass now.
Yeah.
If I can just interject here real quick.
You
real
can.
quick. To put the trees in, Scott, depending on where we're gonna plan on putting trees there, it's a little bit more than just digging a hole. Because
Yeah.
remember, that pit was filled up with rock. So if we put down like a foot or foot and a half of the Sandy Loom and plant grass on it, it's not gonna be enough for a tree to actually
No.
properly root.
Yeah,
So
it would
it's
have
gonna
to
be,
new soil and mulch and all that kind of stuff. It would have to be a good mixture.
yeah, you'd have to
Let me
basically.
take a look at that, Scott. It's a good point, and it is broken out. So,
Yeah, I think that when there was an arborist that was there, they suggested that it would take a lot, like Alan's saying, to plant a tree and make a tree, that you would
Can
have
I
to
ask,
prepare.
I see Mr. Zambito, our park guy and planner. Can you answer some of these questions? What do you think it would take to plant trees up at Sands Avenue? You know, the rock that's underneath there, even if we put sandy loom, what we would need.
I don't think it's a big undertaking. I mean, you're gonna, if you get a tree and dig the circumference of the ball, let's say twice the width and a little deeper and fill it with topsoil, we should be fine.
Dave, we're talking about the plan that you helped us
Yeah.
cost out.
My question is, who said 2,000 yards is going to cap over? I heard Alan say something about 1.5 feet. You're not,
Got that from our engineer, right?
I don't, the 1.5 was just me shooting a number, Dave.
Because
That's all.
You're not even gonna come close to that with 2,000 yards. I hate to tell you.
Oh, you're probably right. I just threw that number out there. I mean, even 1.5 feet of dirt, like I don't think you can plant a maple tree in 1.5 feet of dirt on top of rock though. You know what I mean? That's what I was
That's why
kind of saying.
you would have to dig, whatever
Yeah.
size of the burlap ball, you'd have to dig it twice the size.
Right.
Sure, and fill it with some compost / topsoil mixture, fertilizer, you know, put it in, then you'd be fine. And I'm sure you'd be fine.
That's it. That's in the plan that you helped us develop, Dave, remember? So.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm just thinking,
Let's get the sandy loom up there and plant some grass, and then, you know, Howard will do some other research and report to the board about trees.
Can I ask a quick question here? While
Sure.
we're talking about this, you know, getting the dirt and spreading it out, can we get maybe some prices on to hydro seed it to maybe expedite the process of it actually growing?
yeah, I could give you a quick price if you give me the square footage of the lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll do that.
Well, and then we're gonna have to ask you to give us a price on cutting the grass.
Yeah, that's the least of our issues.
Yeah.
My concern
throw
is, I keep thinking about this 2,000 yards of material. Did
See
somebody?
what it looks like, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it seems like we have our hopes up here where we're gonna spread this sandy loom and grow grass.
yeah. Dave, I think the 2,000 yards came in as we're just, right now, I think the onus of this is just to basically get the lower flat area. I think we agreed a few months ago that it wouldn't be enough to do the upper part of it, but at least give it a start.
If somebody could shoot me the square footage, I could figure it out.
All right. Sounds good. I think Beham came up with something like 2,500 or 2,000 square.
I think it was 2,300 that Behan said.
2,300. Did he mention how thick we were gonna put it down? 6 inches, 3
I
inches?
think he had it in there. I think it was in his plan.
Yeah, it was. Again, I have to look at it. I
Well,
can look at it.
Maybe I'll stop by your office and we'll take a look at it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. It's a start.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but, so there's a resolution number 48 to establish a capital reserve fund to be known as the IT Reserve Fund. And basically, resolve that pursuant to section 6C of the general municipal law, as amended, there is a hereby established a capital reserve fund to be known as the IT Reserve Fund. The purpose of the reserve fund is to accumulate monies to finance the cost of a type of equipment. The type of equipment to be financed from the reserve fund is acquisition of computer equipment and software. And that's a resolution 48, gentlemen, to establish an IT reserve fund and moves for its adoption.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes. Thank you,
Councilman
Scott.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Councilman Molinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Well, we got a lot done tonight, gentlemen. Appreciate all your patience and hard work. Scott, you better go back to work. I'm sorry. But you're looking well. That's the main thing. Hey, there's baby girl.
I see Ari.
Did you get so big?
Honey.
Hey, 55.
Yeah,
Come
big.
on, you gotta go to bed. Anyhow, Alan, on that note,
I'm gonna keep it short tonight and just ask for an adjournment because the Yankees are on and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So Scott's got to get back to work.
I need a second.
I second it.
All in favor?
All
Aye.
second.
Thank
Aye.
you, gentlemen.
Everybody.
Everybody
Good
stay
night,
safe
everybody.
and
Night.
Bye-bye.
healthy.
Larry.